Hello guys, this is Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com, and we're here today with episode number 68 in our incredible new tutorial series where you're learning how to think like an engineer using the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi. What I will need you to do is pour yourself a nice tall glass of ice cold coffee. That would be straight up black coffee. Pour it over ice. No sugar, no sweeteners, none needed. And as you're pouring your coffee, as always, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Sunfounder. Sunfounder is actually sponsoring this most excellent series of video lessons. And in this class, we will be using the Sunfounder Elite Explorer Kit. Now, most of you guys probably already have your gear, but if you don't, take a look down in the description. There is a link over to Amazon, and you can hop on over there and pick your kit up. And believe me, your life and my life are going to be a whole lot easier if we are working on identical hardware. But enough of this shameless self-promotion. Let's jump in and talk about what I am going to teach you today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my solution to the homework assignment that I assigned in lesson number 67. And that was to set up a client-server relationship between Python running on your desktop and Arduino running on the Arduino, and to set up a client-server relationship where the Arduino is the server and Python is the client, and to control the color of an RGB LED over Wi-Fi using UDP. So I must start by asking, were you successful? If you were successful, leave a comment down below. I am legend. Double chest bump. And if you were not successful, leave a comment down below. I folded up like a cheap Walmart lawn chair. Now, hopefully this was pretty straightforward for most of you, because I showed you the hard parts in the last few lessons. We have this general framework of a server running on the Arduino and a client in Python running on your desktop PC, and we have that framework set up. And then I showed you last lesson how you can send from the client to the server comma delimited data, and then how you can parse that data over on the Arduino side. So really, the only thing that it really required from you was to go in and put the RGB LED in, and then to take that parsed data and to control the color of the LED. Why am I giving you some pretty straightforward homework assignments? Because I want you to get more comfortable with this framework of client-server interacting over Wi-Fi. Okay, sound good? I hope it does. Let me get out of your way. Let me have a sip of my coffee, and let's just jump right in and get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the code that we ended up with last lesson. We don't want to type that all again, so you can go to the most excellent www.toptechboy.com, and using this happy little search icon, you can search on something like parsing comma delimited data strings in Arduino, and that'll have the code that we ended up with last week. So we come down here and we start with the server code on the Arduino. So we're going to copy that, and let me see if I can get us a fresh new Arduino IDE, and we are going to paste that in, and that did not copy. So let's try this again. We'll come here and copy. My copy at this particular moment doesn't seem to be working, so I will select the code, right mouse click, and copy. And then we'll come back to the Arduino IDE, and then we will paste it. Good, we've got that. All right. Now, what you also know is we are going to need the secrets. We are going to need the secrets file to store our Wi-Fi credentials. And you get that by clicking here and then saying new tab, and when you say new tab, then you name it secrets.h, and then you will end up with this file. But what I need to do is I need to go get the secrets file from the same web page. We'll see, will it copy here? No. So I will right mouse click and I will copy, and then we in just a second will come back to our secrets. There it is. We come back to our secrets, and then I'm going to paste it in. Now my Wi-Fi name is Manor House. Don't put in my Wi-Fi name, put in your Wi-Fi name. Now you need to put in your password. You need to put in your password, and I don't particularly want you to see that. So I'm going to let you look at the river while I paste in my Wi-Fi password. Okay. So that should be all set up, and we come back over here, and now I think we're ready to run the server software that we developed last week. So let's just look. That is looking very, very good so far. Good. Okay. And the server is started, and it's sitting there, and it's waiting for a command or information or data from the client. Now, just to look at this again, what we do is we start by connecting to the Wi-Fi. Okay. Then we look to see if there's data, UDP data coming in from the Wi-Fi. If there is, we're going to see how long the data string is, how many characters it is. And then what we're going to do is we are going to read it, UDP read the data into the character array, my packet. We're then going to print my packet. But the problem is my packet has not been cleaned up. It might have read extraneous additional data in the buffer, so we have to clean it up. Well, the way we do that is we know the number of characters that were sent was data length. And so we want to go to my packet of data length, which would be one spot beyond the data, because like if there were 3 characters, that would go into spot 0, spot 1, and spot 2. And then the next one, data length, would be the one after that. And so my packet of data length, we send to an end character, which is the 0. Hopefully that makes sense, right? It's this starting to count by 0, starting to count at 0 when we index arrays. And so this data length is going to be the character after the last good character that was sent. Then we print that cleaned up data, and then we change that cleaned up data from a character array into a nice, easy to use string, and then we trim any blank spaces or white spaces out of that string, and then we print what we received. Now, this code we developed last week, and what this code does is it is looking for comma delimited data. And for us, what would comma delimited data be? If we're trying to control the color of an RGB LED, it would be something like 255, 0, 0, which would be red, or 255, 0, 255, which would be magenta. Or it could be 0, 255, which would be blue. And so I talked to you last week about how you have to find the commas, and then you have to pull off R, G, and B by using this substring command. And then we have to remember, after we do that, we have to convert to an int. Then at this point, we have R, the integer, G, the integer, and B, the integer. So if we sent the string 255, 0, 0, we're going to have R is equal to the integer 255, G is equal to the integer 0, and B is equal to the integer 0. Okay? Now, before we go any further, now at this point, we have the RGB. So on the client side, what would we send? We would send 3 numbers between 0 and 255 with commas between them. So like 255, 0, 0 would come from the client. We parse it, and then we end up with our R, our G, and our B. Now we're going to need to do things here with it. But before we do that, let's hop over here and look at the circuit. And what you can see is I have my Arduino. I have it connected to an RGB LED. The red channel is connected to pin 9, the green channel to pin 10, and the blue channel to pin 11. And let me look at that. Yep, 9, 10, and 11. And then I connect through 1,000 ohm resistors, and then I'm going to put this little hat back on my LED so that hopefully we'll get something that looks a lot, maybe it's on this side, we'll get something that looks a lot easier to see on the camera, okay? Then I also am running this off of our power board that has the little battery. It's set on 5 volts. And then I have the ground rail up here connected to ground on the Arduino. And I have the 5-volt rail connected to VN. And with that, we should be able to run this thing completely mobile once we get going. Okay, so it makes us feel good that the program we ended with last week is working for us this week to get started. At least it compiled and it connected to Wi-Fi. And so now what we need to do is we need to get the client running. So we'll pop open our Thonny and our Python program, and now we need to get our client program. Well, the client program, really, we haven't changed that. And this is our client program. Again, the same web page. This is the server. This is the secret file. And this is the client. Okay, still didn't seem like it copied, so we'll do it this way. Hopefully it'll work for you just by clicking the little copy icon. But we'll copy it this way. And we will come here and we'll paste it, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to run this, and I want to see if I can send it comma delimited data, and then over on the server side, if it will parse R, G, and B into ints. And so let's say we want to have 0, 0, 0. I'll get out of your way, and then we're gonna send that. And then over here, it says it received color 0, 0, 0, and then it prints the red 0, the green 0, the blue 0. Let's say if we wanted blue, we would go 0, 0, 255, like that. And then boom, 0, 0, 255. So we've got the hard work done. Now here, now that we have that, what we want to do is we want to send RGB to the LED. So if we're going to do that, we've got to do some bookkeeping up here. So we go to the top of the program. Right before the void setup, I'm going to say red pin, and that was 9. Green pin, and that was 10. And then blue pin, and that was 11. Like that. Now in the void setup, we need to do our pin modes. So I'm going to do pin mode, red pin, and that's going to be an output. Pin mode, green pin, that's going to be an output. Did I already do that? Let's see, was that already there, or am I going crazy? Red, green, blue, that's good. Pin mode red, green, that's a little strange. Let me see what was there. I'm confused. I thought that we still needed to do that. So let's come up and look at the client, at the server. Oh, I know. This red pin and this green pin, that was for our original program where we just had a red LED and a green LED. So that's why the red and the green were already there, okay? And I got to make sure red pin, green pin, blue pin is set up there. And then this also set it up here, and we want to get rid of that, okay? So red pin, green pin, blue pin. We've got red pin and output, green pin and output. Then let's make this blue pin an output. So I'd not remembered perfectly what was in the code from last week, but now we are set up. We've got our pin modes done. And so this is the if statement. If we end up in this if statement, that means we had data, we read data, we cleaned it up, we parsed it, okay? And then after we get the integers R, G, and B, what we want to do is analog write. We want to write the red pin to red, okay? And then we want to analog write, and we want to write the green pin to green. And then we want to analog write the blue pin to blue, B, like that. So that's, we read the string, we parsed it, we ended up with the integers, and now we are just simply writing those to the LED. Now, the one thing we need to kind of think of is somewhere down here we create a response, and we've got to set up what this response is. Let me make sure I didn't do this already up here. No, we haven't set up response. And so after we do all this, we need to set the response that we send back to the response that we send back to the server is going to be equal to your, or let's see, your color, and then we'll put that. We'll do just the original one, which was color, okay, because color is the one that is all cleaned up. So we'll send it back the string color. So this was before we delimited, we split it, parsed it on the delimiters, and so color would be like 255, 0, 0. We're going to return that. I'm going to put our spaces in. Has been set. Okay, like that. And then we will end that in a semicolon. Man, how many mistakes did I make in there? We're going to have to download the server code again. What did it not like? Ah, int. I'm thinking in Python. What's hard when you're writing Python and Arduino code at the same time is remember when you're on the Python side versus the Arduino side. So let's try this again. Okay, what is it not like here? Forgot a semicolon. There it is. Hopefully you guys caught that. Okay, it is uploading. And it is waiting for a response. So let's see here. We'll turn the serial monitor on. When we do, I'm going to reset the Arduino, connecting to Wi-Fi. It's connected. Now I'm going to come over on this side and I am going to run the client. And now I'm going to let you see, as we are watching the two code windows, I'm going to let you watch the Arduino and the LED. So let's see if we wanted to do blue. That would be 0, 0, 255. So we're going to do that, and boom, we've got blue. Server response, your color is 0, 255. You notice that we needed a space here. You see the formatting is poor here. I didn't put a space. So let's see where we need to do that. I think that's on the Arduino side because that's the response. So we're over here on the Arduino side. We created response. We needed a space right there. So we'll run the server again. We'll kill the client. Server looks happy. Okay. Run the client, and we're going to go 0, 0, 255. And there we get the very nice, your color 0, 0, 255 has been set. And look, blue. Okay. Let's go 0, 255, 0. Boom, we get green. Let's go 255, 0, 0, and we get red. Look at that. Let's see if we can do aqua. 0, 255, 255. And that's kind of aqua. Too much blue, though. So what I want to do is, with that too much blue, I want to go 0, 255, let's say 125, like that. And let's see if we get more of an aqua. It's kind of a cyan, but I want a little more green in it. Okay, that's a much better turquoise right there. Magenta would be 255, 0, 255. Boom, a beautiful magenta. And then kind of a yellow orange would be 255, 255, 0. That's way too much green. And so we will do 255, 125, 0. And there, that's a very nice yellow. If we want to turn the green down even more, 0, 65, 0, that should be something much more closer to orange. Ah, that was wrong. I put 0. Okay, so it's 255, 65 to turn the green down, and 0. And then that is a very nice orange that we're getting. So you can see that we can set any color from the client, send the data over to Arduino, and then what we can do on the Arduino side is read in the string, parse it, change it to ints, and then apply it. And then apply it to the LED. Now what I want to show you here is the really amazing thing is I'm going to turn this off by taking out the cable, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn it on. Okay. Give it a second to boot up. It should be out connecting to the Wi-Fi. What would be smart is if we made like the onboard LED blink in some pattern to give us a visual indication that we had, in fact, connected to Wi-Fi, but we should be connected to Wi-Fi now. And so if you look at this, we are completely mobile. So now I'll come up here so you can see this better. And then I'm going to type in 255, 0, 0. And we're going to hope that this works. And boom, we get red. 0, 255, 0. Boom, we get green. That doesn't show up very good, does it? And then we will go 0, 0, 255, which should be blue. Boom, and there it is, blue. Okay, see that? So completely mobile, and I can go wherever I want in the house that's within the range of the Wi-Fi, and I can control this from the Python server. Okay, guys, this was a pretty easy lesson. Why did I give you such an easy homework? I'm trying to get you comfortable in working with this client-server program. Okay, I'm trying to get you comfortable working with this client-server framework and to see that for a lot of things, your basic server over here is going to be the same. your basic client is going to be the same. And then most of your programming is going to be on the server side on Arduino, where you get that command from the client and then parse the data and then do whatever it told you to do. One thing you might try doing for a homework would be to put that BMP 180 back into your circuit, and then from the client side, you would ask for temperature. If you ask for temperature, the server would measure temperature and return the temperature is 78.5. Or on the client side, if you asked for barometric pressure, the Arduino would respond with the pressure is 29.6 inches of mercury. So you can see that you could set the Arduino up with something like the BMP 180, and then on the client side, you could ask for data. Well, then if you could do that, you could start creating charts and all types of stuff in Python. Okay, so that is your homework assignment. But where are we going next? So I've got the basic framework down that you should be confident now in your ability to have a server running on the Arduino, to have a client running in Python, but we want to go beyond having to type things into Python and running a Python program. What we want is to generate a graphical user interface on the Python side, and then to be able to do the interaction graphically with buttons or slider bars or various things. So what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to teach you on the client side how to use PyQt5 to create these graphical user interfaces. Now, you guys that are taking my Raspberry Pi Pico W class, you've already been introduced to PyQt, so you're going to be familiar with these few upcoming lessons, but it'll be a good review for you. And you guys that are taking this class but not taking the other one, this might be the first time for you to actually use the PyQt software, which is very powerful to design very beautiful and functional, graphical user interfaces. So that's what we are going to do next week. Guys, I hope you are enjoying taking these classes as much as I am making them. As always, want to give a shout out to you guys that are standing with me on Patreon. It is the Patreon support that is enabling me to stay in the game at this point. So I want to give a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. You can also help me by giving a thumbs up to this video and leaving a comment down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. When you do, make sure you ring that bell so you'll get notifications when future lessons drop. And most importantly, share this video with other people, because the world needs more people thinking like an engineer and fewer people sitting around watching silly cat videos. Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.